Hello and welcome back to another poetry video by me. I'm your host, Simmons, Junior Girl. And this is a poem. Actually, I don't know what I want to make it. I don't know if I want to keep writing more or if I want to make it into like a rap or I don't know what I want to make it. Um, I call it Childhood Story, right? And I wrote it January 14th of this year, 2017. And it took me 16 minutes to write. 16 minutes to write, 1 6. So here it goes. I was raised to be tough, but my personality wasn't enough. They bullied the light skin out of me. That's what happened to me as a kid correctly. Okay. I was raised to be tough. I was raised to believe that men don't cry and all of that. We're talking about the 2000 early 2000s where you know being gay was not accepted, and which is um and my family really didn't, because I remember my grandmother told me once about my long nails. My grandmother told me when I was a little kid, like knee high. She said, "Oh, cut your nails or else the kids are gonna think you're a sissy." Really, girl? So they bullied the light skin out of me means that they bullied me so bad it made me ashamed to be the skin color to have the skin complexion that I have, because I'm a light skinned black man. If those of you who are new to my channel, I'm a light skinned black man, girl. I have peach fuzz, bitch. Peach fuzz, good word, bitch. Um, so anyway, let's go back and look to the poem. My childhood was dark. I had no way out. I thought I had no control. In me, there was no spark. I was full of naivete. That's not how I am anymore. If you're clueless to this, oh my god, I'm stuttering, girl. If you're clueless to this, I have to show you the door. Okay, let's analyze those 4 lines, right? My childhood was dark. I had no way out. That is very self-explanatory, because I did have a very dark childhood. And if you follow my main channel, you will know that, where I talk about my life and more in my story times. Um, I survived being almost anorexic, going to a hospital for 6 days because I was bullied. Um, because the high school I went to thought I was crazy, and my teachers were like, "What's going on?" Still, so they decided to put me in the hospital. Um, I've survived depression. Well, I still have depression and anxiety, but I survived. There's so much more I can talk about. Um, my cousin threw all my stuff in the trash in Georgia. Which is part of the story time I just got done making on my main channel. If you have not seen that video, I will put a link to my main channel. Um, and there's so much more that I have not talked about. So okay, so I thought I had no control, and me there was no spark. I thought I had no control. Basically, is talking about when I was a child, that I thought I had no control over my life, and as my mom said, were the trajectory. My mom said, were the trajectory of my life, because of the situation I was in at the time. My dad did not want to work. My dad, any type of money that he put in, that he that any number two stories, girl. I just got to explain them on my main channel in a new video called My Truth. Number one, but my specifically about my dad. My dad, any money he received, number one, he asked my mom for the money. That's number one. But number two, which I didn't want to explain number one, but number two, any money he received went to his car. It did not go to his wife and child. Okay. Number three, my dad did not work. My dad had multiple odd jobs, but he did not have a main job or career. Right. Um, I survived growing up in a very strict household. My dad was very strict on me. Um, you know, and if you guys want me to talk about that more, I will definitely talk about that more and more. Story times on my main channel because that's not what we're to talk about. Uh, let's see. In me, there was no spark. Basically, is talking about the fact that it's kind of hard to explain, but that line means because you would have to have lived through it in order to understand what I was going through at the time. Um, you know, in me there was no spark is talking about I had no drive. I had no ambition, basically, as a kid. However, the one thing I had ambition about was the fact that my songwriting was good. Um, I wrote my first song at the age of 9, right? It was called Apartment Blues or Quarrel Blues or something like that. And I still have it in one of the notebooks in my binder. It's somewhere. And that was my first song. So, um, I actually, I would always get bullied, right? The girls thought I was too gay for them. The boys thought I was ugly. Um, I didn't have many friends. I played alone. I played alone during recess uh, because no one wanted to play with me. Um, or I would just go into other people's games and stuff, play with them, but they really wouldn't like acknowledge me, you know. Um, and so knowing that, the one thing that gave me strength and sanity was my songwriting. Okay. I was full of naivete. That's not how I am anymore. Okay. Naivete. I had naivete because um, it's hard to explain. It's hard to explain. It's a very very long story. But I will basically explain the abridged version. Back in 2011. Actually, yeah, back in 2011, I was gullible. I fell for anything anyone told me. I was obsessive. I was needy. I was, all different things, and I was needy for someone to say needy for a boyfriend or a girlfriend, needy for some friends, needy for a support system because of the fucked up life that I was going through, because of the fucked up shit I went through. Okay. And excuse my language, but girl, I have to keep it real because this is my story and I'm sticking to it like Sky Satino, that ass girl. But I'm not that way, and I'm still I still look for a support system because I still to this day do not have a proper support base. You know, I'm gonna use my as this as an analogy, right? Oh shit. I want to use this as an analogy, right? Where's my? Where are you? 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 Oh shit. Okay, it's all the way over there. Girl, this microphone that I just bought. Without this stand right here, without this tripod, it would not stand on its own. Okay. I'm a tripod struggling to find a microphone. Actually, yeah. The microphone struggling to find a tripod for me. I'm struggling to find someone who will hold me down, struggling to find someone who will be there for me when I need to cry, be there for me when I need to vent, and be there for me to talk about all my secrets and problems and different things like that. That's what I mean when I say uh, no proper support base. I'm that microphone that's looking for a tripod. That's why I say I mean that. Okay. Here's the next one. Here's the next verse. I discovered elation is not. From being with lovers I got. Pleasure from being in pain, but there was no personal gain. That is a deep line. That's one of the best lines. Four stanzas. That's one of the best stanzas I've ever written, bitch. Okay, let's analyze that because each line means something. I discovered elation is not from being with lovers. Let's analyze that line, girl. It basically means that I discovered that I don't need other people being my boyfriend or girlfriend to make me happy for a moment, right? I do believe in love, and I do believe I want a relationship. And people are telling me, "Oh, you need to take a break from dating. You need to take a break from this. You need to take a break from that, and you need to just focus on yourself." Okay, girl, that's easy to say because you have a man, bitch. So I don't want to hear it. Don't want to hear it, bitch. But I however believe in love, and I however believe that I will find my right one for me. So you stay with your man, and I will, try to find mine, my true love. It was also because have stayed, I have, I have, how do I explain this? Using the words I have. For years, I have watched the people around me date men and date men and date other people and date various people while I stayed single or while I got into a relationship that was bad or while I got into an abusive relationship or I got into a relationship that where the person tried to disrespect me and shit. And these other people and many times many times I will come out single of the relationship. I'll come out single of the relationship. And I would watch these people in my family or around the people around me, just not just my family, but in general, and the people around me in general. I would watch these people get into relationships, and you would think that seeing how they would get treated. Sorry, for my nosation. You would think that me seeing how they get bossed around and kicked around by their significant other will make me not want to date and focus on myself. But no, girl, no, girl. Not I said the duck, bitch. Not I said the cat. Not I said the condom, bitch. Not I. Okay, there she rhymes, girl. Not I. Not I. Right. Um, I kept getting into relationship after relationship and being abused, being disrespected, and I I had enough of it. I had enough of it one day, and there were two individual times where I said, I'm done with boys, I'm done with girls, I'm done with relationships, I'm done with people. Fuck love. I hate it. It's evil. Right? And then someone new come along. Someone new. Immediately after I would say that shit, someone new would come along into my life, and then I started dating them, and then they would disrespect me again, and we would break up again, and then I would meet people. I would meet people who say, "Oh, you're gonna find someone. You're gonna find love. You're gonna find everything you want." And then I meet this person. I talk to someone. I meet that person, and they're saying, "Oh, you're not my type," or "Oh, I'm not attracted to you," or whatever the fuck they want to say to me. "Oh, you look younger than 18. Oh, you look younger than 20. Sorry, I can't talk to you no more." And, da, da, da. And it takes a toll. It took a toll on my self esteem, and it still takes a toll on my self esteem. I would say, but now I'm in a place where I do want love again, and you know, so what I meant on ADHD. What I meant by I discovered a relationship is not from being with lovers. I meant that I meant that at the time I was fed up with love and wanted out, but didn't get it. Which leads me into my next line. I got pleasure from being in pain, but there was no personal gain. So, and I basically actually explained this earlier, about what I would be okay. So I got pleasure from being in pain is basically about the relationships I would get in, right? The relationships I'd get in where these people would disrespect me, call me all kinds of names, say they were I wasn't there for them. When I put my all into this motherfucking relationship, bitch, I gave you everything I wanted. I gave you everything I needed from you. I gave you everything I needed from you and expected to get the same back from you, but yet you wasn't giving me shit. You weren't bringing your end of you weren't putting on the table, right? So that's all I'm trying to say. But I got pleasure from being in pain. Also, I got pleasure from being in pain because um I would get disrespected. I would be tossed around like a tennis ball in the ass. I'd be tossed around like a motherfucking tennis ball, and I somehow got pleasure from that because I would say I don't want a man who is a douchebag or a dickhead or a bitch or a cunt. I would say these things. I would say I want a strong man. I want a man who's willful. I want a man who's strong. I want a man who is will provide for me. I want a man who is all these different things and is good and is kind and is sensitive and is caring and is he'll never fail me. He'll never give up on me. He will always he'll be vulnerable. He's not afraid to be vulnerable. Not afraid to be vulnerable. Excuse me. And I get into these relationships, and these men are none of those things. None of those damn things. Right? That's what I mean by I got. And I loved it. I loved it. And because I kept staying in those relationships and kept taking the shit from these men. Kept taking the shit from these men. And and I realized it as soon as it was too late. And I thank God I'm in one. Thank the heavens I'm in one piece, bitch. Thank the universe I'm in one piece because without the universe saying that there was something meant for you, something meant for me, I would not. I probably would not be here. Um. Oh, but there is no personal gain. Okay, girl. But that actually means that there is no personal gain. Means that I was disrespected by these men and got nothing out of these relationships from these men and I wasn't learning anything from that. I wasn't well I was learning that not to be these men, but I couldn't take that and use it. I couldn't use it, you know, because these men were holding me down. These men were holding me down in a bad way. You know what I mean? Here's the next four lines. My friends bullied me too, discovering that I emotionally grew. I moved away and cut them out to the true arms to the belt. Girl, that is some tea for the ass. Let me get some storytime tea, beach. Actually, no, let me not get some storytime tea because I just drank a cup of tea. Girl, next to my while I was watching Sky Santana earlier, legendary by the Sky Santana, King of Story Times, girl. I was watching Sky Santana. I had some tea. I had some tea mix over there, over here, over there. On my uh TV stand. I have a TV stand, and on top of the TV stand, I have a bunch of stuff on there. And one of those things is tea mix. Um, and I poured some tea mix into I got some water, poured it into my the cup I have, and I stirred the tea mix. I got the tea mix and poured the tea mix into the tea, into the water, and I stirred it up together. I stirred them together, and I drank the shit out of it while I was watching Sky Santana Story Times, and I was watching Gabrielle Victor, legendary Gabrielle Victor from Marriage Bootcamp, from just a overall legendary mother YouTuber. She's a legendary YouTuber. Love her, love her, love her, love her, love her. I subscribed to her yesterday. Girl, love her, love her, love her. Absolutely love her. Oh, and then girl, Throwing Shade is legendary. The TV show Throwing Shade is legendary because I used to listen to them when they were a podcast still, girl. They were a legendary podcast, girl. They're still a they still do the podcast, but they also do the TV show too now, you know. My friend go on Facebook talking about, oh girl, Throwing Shade, a show done by white people. Watch the show, girl, and understand what the show is about. That way you will stop hating, girl, and you will get a better clarity of what the show is about, girl, what the show is about. And stop hating. I'm just telling you, trying to know what I've been through. Iggy Azalea, girl. Okay? Work on the ass. Like Iggy. Although Iggy's the best example, girl. ADHD focus. My friends bullied me too, discovering that I emotionally grew. Um, my friends bullied me too. Let me get a cookie, bitch. Let me get a motherfucking cookie, bitch, because I'm hungry as hell. Let me get a cookie. These legendary Walmart cookies, bitch. Legendary, girl. For 97 cents? Girl. Girl, this cookie is not legendary, but it still tastes good. This cookie not supposed to be hard. So, uh, my friends bullied me too, discovering that I emotionally grew. Basically means that I learned that my friends were not my friends. They were bullies. This is going back to my middle school days. When I was in Manalapan at middle school. Because I went to Manalapan English Middle School, aka MEMS. Um, growing up being in MEMS, right? We call it MEMS. Growing up being in MEMS, um, I was bullied a lot by people who called me my friend, people who called me their friend and then turned their back on me. I remember I recently was talking to a now she's a friend of mine, but back in the day we didn't know each other. Um, shout out to Major Girl, I love you down. I was talking to Major Jackson. She's really cool. Back in the day, she said I thought being gay was a disease. You know. Um, and she said I wanted to be your friend because I saw everyone bullying you. I was like, oh my god, what that's such a sweet thing to say. I mean, but I wanted to know like why weren't you my friend? But it's probably because she thought being gay was a disease. You know what I'm saying? Um, discovering that I emotionally grew. Once I had to figure out that my friends were not my mother friends and that they were trying to play me and con me and bully me and bullshit me, I emotionally grew because I started to find other people online. And I started to find other friends online, like on Facebook, on Whisper, on Meet Me. I started to find other friends. You know what I'm saying? I moved away and cut them out so the true opposite is out. Basically, it means to my true friends, I'm still talking to my true friends. I'm still a true friend to my true friends. You know, I was offered promises that never came to fruition. I said, this is the next verse. I was offered promises that never came to fruition. I said, sheltered for years in solitude, in my own house without gratitude. Cut, 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 cut. I was offered promises that never came to fruition. It's about basically um when I was okay. There's a couple of things. Okay, when I was 11, actually when I was 12 in 2008. 2008, I was offered to become a model at the old Swarovski store at the mall at my local mall here in town, the Raceway Mall. And I've talked about this on other story times, but on my main channel. But I'm doing it. I'm telling you guys this now on this channel because for some of you who may not know me, I almost became a model in 2008. But I said no because I did not want to go through that because I thought I would not be a good model. Plus, I was scared of different things. Also, the different things that never came, something that never came to fruition was, and that never, and the Swarovski thing never came to fruition. Also, it's cool. I'm gonna watch it and I'm gonna watch. Okay. Um. Uh. Tegan tweeted. Tegan Ridgebottom tweeted. The fuck is the picture? Tegan is a close friend of mine from Canada, and I asked him out about 6 months ago, and he turned me down. And we're just friends now. And he's in a new relationship, and he's known his partner for about a month. So I really do love him, but I have to soldier on. You know what I'm saying? So um, that never came to fruition either. But that's not what we're here to talk about. Actually, it could be about relationships that never came to fruition too. But if we're gonna get into relationships that never came to fruition, let's talk about girl. Okay, so I almost dated a girl that I went to high school with. I almost dated a girl I went to high school with. I almost dated a guy, one of my close friends. I almost dated one of my close friends. Shout out to my homie Justin. Shout out to my homie Justin. We almost dated. When he turned me down. He turned me down. Um, so and there's many more relationships that I almost was in that I got turned down by. Tegan also specifically has a podcast. He has his own website, so I could have learned a lot. I could learn a lot from him in terms of putting your podcast on iTunes and doing all of that. I can learn a lot from him in terms of that and trying to get exposure because he has a lot of viewers. I'm sure he has a lot of viewers on his podcast called Ish Talk, Ishtalk. Um, Also, in 2012 when I was coming back, well, in 2011, April 2000, April 23rd, 2011. I was in North New Jersey, coming back from Jacksonville, where my aunt lives, and Jacksonville, Florida, specifically. And I met this woman who was an author, and she basically sold me some bullshit. She gave me a copy of her book, and she basically told her, "Oh, I want to be an author. I want to be an author." She said, "Why do you want to be an author?" Because she said, no, I didn't tell her I want to be an author. I told her I want to write a book too. I want to write a book. I want to write a book, right? She said, "Why do you want to write a book?" Because she said I think I said like I'm gonna get published or some bullshit like that. And she said, why am I doing public? Because I gave her, a little story. I don't know what the fuck I said. Um, and she gave me her card, and she told me contact her on YouTube. Actually, she gave me her card, and I I looked inside. I looked inside the book that she gave me, and it had her Twitter on there. It had her YouTube on there. So I went on her Twitter and YouTube and tweeted her. This is 8 months after I saw her, right? 8 months after I saw her. 8 months after I saw her, I tweeted her on Twitter. I sent her a tweet saying, "Hey, this is done from the airport, da, 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 and why don't we meet up or some shit like that?" She ignored me. YouTubed her. "Hey, da, 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 da. Why don't we meet up?" Ignored me. So absolutely ignored me. I got scammed. I got scammed by that bitch. Got scammed by her. I did not want to talk to her ever again. That never came to fruition either. You know. So there's so many opportunities that never came to fruition in my life. So many more opportunities that never came to fruition. Um, Also, here's the last 4 lines. Actually, no. Shelter for years in gratitude. Here's the next one. I sat shelter for years in solitude, which means basically it's about describing my childhood, growing up as a child in Manalapan, New Jersey. Um, I was sheltered from a lot of things. Um, I was not allowed to hang out with my friends. I was not. I only went to karate. I went to karate. Came home. I did XYZ. Came home. I did not. I didn't go anywhere else besides go to the first place I was supposed to go and come home. You know. But I sat there in solitude alone. You know. In my own house without gratitude. Yeah, I wasn't very thankful to the universe because I felt my mom was not there for me. You know. I felt that my dad did not love me. I felt that my grandmother was the one who cared about me the most. And she was dead and at this point. And I felt like because it was me, my dad, my grandma, and my mom, and we all lived together in the same house for 11 years until 2008. So at that point, at 2009, 2010, my mom was she was my mom's mother. At that point, my grandmother passed away. Um, so I stayed in school. We lost our house at that time. My mom did not tell me until I was done with school, and then we moved away to Freehold, New Jersey, where I live. Freehold, Borough, New Jersey, where I live now. And then we moved to an apartment on the other side of town, um, off of Route 33. Um, and I lived there for 6 years with my mom, and now I live here. And I'm not gonna give away where I live, but you know. So I basically was not thankful for all those reasons because my grandmother was passing away. She was the only one who cared about me. I felt my dad wasn't doing his part. My mom was doing her was always busy. My mom number one, number two. My mom was always busy. My mom was taking care of my grandmother because she was ill. She was sick. She was vibrant, but she was sick into her 70s. She was well into her 70s, sick. Her leg was hurting, and we couldn't find a cure. So she went to different doctors, went to different hospitals, and then all this stuff started happening. At the same time, I was in school, had to take care of me. I was in school. My dad was leeching off my mom, and had to take care of that. My dad was abusive, and I really was not thankful for my life. I was not thankful for everything that was happening. I was not thankful for my intelligence. I was not thankful that I was still in one piece and I jumped and not without legs and without arms. I was not thankful of any damn thing, you know. So here's the last line, the last four lines. I didn't know why I was still alive. So I did not know why I was still alive. Yet the angels made me survive. I knew somehow I had to prosper, like entering the ring as a boxer. Those first two lines really hit home for me because those lines, the first line, I didn't know why I was alive. While I was still alive, excuse me. I wanted to die many times in my life. Wanted to absolutely die. And I did not know why the universe was keeping me alive. Right. Once I got to the apartment where on the other side of town. I wanted to die. I wanted to die and didn't know why I was still alive, why the angels were keeping me alive. And, you know, at that point in time, I was being abused. I wanted to overdose on heroin. I was obsessive. I was needy. I had no friends. And there was a lot of shit happening behind the scenes that y'all don't know about that I don't even remember. I can't even tell you because I don't remember. So, yeah, it was just so much. It was just so fucking much. It was so fucking much. I was choked twice. I was threatened by this abuser. But I was choked by this abuser and threatened by this abuser six separate times. He made me work while I had 103-degree fever. He was just not a nice person. He hit my mom. He almost killed my mom. My mom got arrested because of him. There was so much shit that went on, and I did not know why I was still alive. Yeah, but somehow, the universe and the angels made me survive. So on that note, that is my song. That is my poem slash rap slash whatever the fuck you want to call it. Childhood story. Like my channel. If you want to subscribe to my channel, subscribe to my channel. Yeah. I'm gonna go now. Bye.